Welcome to Budget Beauty, where I help you look flawless for less. Welcome back, and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen and this is Budget Beauty. We do everything beauty on a budget, and that includes tutorials, first impressions, and reviews of new makeup releases. And today we're going to be doing my first impression review and tutorial of a palette that I am really excited about. And that is the new collaboration between Lethal Cosmetics and Teresa is Dead here on YouTube. I'll link her channel down below for you if you don't watch her. She's great. She's hilarious, and I absolutely love her videos. I never miss a single one. Well, she collabed for the second time with Lethal Cosmetics with the Teresa is Lethal palette. Now, I do own the Lethal is Dead palette, which was her first collaboration. So as soon as I saw that she was collabing again and how much I love that palette, I knew that I had to pick this up. I'll go ahead and insert some footage of the unicarton and the palette itself here for you. The unicarton and the palette actually match. So they're the same artwork. The palette does have a mirror, and right under the mirror, it has a little saying that says, "Don't look up." I think that's absolutely adorable. It is a space alien inspired palette, which if you follow Teresa, you know that fits her aesthetic perfectly. And the color story of this is so much fun. We have 6 mattes and 3 shimmers, so it is a little bit more of a matte heavy palette, which is great. I prefer more mattes than shimmers because we generally use more mattes in an eye look than shimmers. And I was really happy to see that this shade TV Dinner is silver. She always talks about wanting that Tin Man silver, and here it is in her palette. So I had a feeling she'd be adding a beautiful silver to the palette. These swatched beautifully. The shimmers are gorgeous. The matte swatched really nice. I'm really excited to test this out on my eyes because we know swatches don't always tell the whole story. So we're going to create a look with the Teresa is Lethal palette. So if you're excited, give this video a big, huge thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not, because I upload lots and lots of new videos every single week. Down in the description box, I will link the palette. Now you can purchase this on the Lethal Cosmetics website or at camerareadycosmetics.com. That is where I purchased my palette, and you can use the code Teresa is Dead to get 10% off. So I thought I might as well save 10%, so I ordered it on the Camera Ready Cosmetics website. It will be linked down below, both on Lethal Cosmetics and Camera Ready Cosmetics with Teresa's discount code. You'll also find my favorite beauty boxes, all of the other makeup that I'm wearing today, and don't forget, come on over, follow me on TikTok for a little bit more beauty on a budget. So let me zoom you in, and let's create an eye look with the Teresa is Lethal palette. I love that there's a mirror in the palette. I will be using that today when I create my look. And as always, I struggle picking out where I want to start with the color story. This is so fun. It's a little bit more on the grungy side, but we have some cool tone shades. We have some warm tone shades. It's Teresa in a palette for sure. I did go ahead and prime my eyes with my MAC paint pot in Painterly. I'll link that down below for you. I use that every time I create an eye look. So I'm going to start with the shade Space Duster, which is this cool toned gray shade, and I'm going to use that as my transition. So I'm going to stamp that in and blend that out. Whoa, holy pigmentation. That was one tap into the palette. I am surprised at the pigmentation. That is a lot, which I very much appreciate, and there is no kick up in the pan. This is a really pretty color. It's definitely a cool toned gray with a little bit of a blue undertone. I really like it. It's the perfect transition shade. I tap that in and then just blend it out with that windshield wiper motion. That gets it really in the crease and blends out those edges. That is such a beautiful shade, very alien-esque. Now using the shade Specimen 3, which is this teal, kind of deep green teal matte, I'm going to use that just on the crease itself, just to add that little pop of teal and deepen up the crease. These two shades pair really beautifully together. They also layer really nicely. There's no patchiness, there's no muddiness. You can see that you can see the distinct colors as well. Ooh, she's so fun. For my outer corner, to deepen it up, add a little bit of depth, I'm doing the shade Plutonian, which is this deep, dark purple in the palette. And I always say that purples can be hard to formulate. They become really patchy and they don't always blend out very good. So I want to see how this Lethal purple is. It is an absolutely beautiful color. So no patchiness, very, very pigmented, a very beautiful, deep, dark purple. I'm quite impressed with this purple shade Plutonian. I'm really liking how deep and dark and grungy this look is. Now it's time for a shimmer, and immediately this space thrash color right here, when I swatched that, I was like, ooh, it's so pretty. But I also want to use the silver because she loves silver. I love silver. So I'm trying to decide what route I want to take. So here's those two shades, and those would even be really pretty together. So I'm thinking I'll put the silver TV dinner all over the lid, and then I'll take the shade Space Thrash and blend that in on the inner corner. So TV dinner, that silver shade, oh, it's so beautiful. I'm going to apply that with my finger. Whoa. Oh my goodness. This is seriously, hands down, the prettiest silver shade I've ever seen. Way to go, Teresa. All your silver shade dreams definitely are coming true with the shades TV dinner. It is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Now I will say that I do have some fallout from the silver TV dinner shade. You can see that here on my face. I've already set my face, so I'll easily be able to just wipe that away. But I wanted to point out that I did get a little bit of fallout from the shade, but it's so beautiful, I can deal with the fallout. And then using my brush going into the shade Space Thrash, I like to show you guys shimmers being applied with both the finger and a brush so we can see if they work equally as well. My goodness, this shade, I love everything about it. It is shifty from blue to purple. It looks so nice with the matte shades, and it's blending in beautifully with that silver shade TV dinner. And then really quickly with the other side of that brush back into TV dinner, I want to use that as my inner corner highlight because like I said, it is the prettiest silver shade I've ever seen. For my lower lash line, back into Plutonium, that deep dark purple shade, and I'm going to buff that in on my lower lash line. You can also see I have a little bit of fallout here from the purple and the silver. I will just wipe that away. I want to use the green shade, Venus Envy. So I'm going to pick that up and buff that in with that purple shade on the lower lash line. I love the little pop of green. Let me go ahead and brush away the fallout. Lucky for me, I have this really sparkly highlighter on, so the silver fallout honestly just kind of blends in. But if you set your face first, you can easily just brush everything away. So here's my look. So far, I'm going to go ahead and apply liner and mascara, and I'll be back to share the final eye look, and we will do our lips together. So here is the finished eye look with liner and mascara. It's absolutely stunning. I love how shimmery and sparkly it is. It's so pretty, and I'm really glad I chose this highlighter today because it goes perfectly with this look. All of the other makeup on my face will be linked down below, so if you're interested in this wet looking highlighter, I'll have it linked for you. And for lips, I want to go a little deep, a little grungy. So I'm going to use from Unearthly Cosmetics, what used to be Alien Cosmetics, their satin liquid lips. These are such a great formula. They are not drying on the lip at all, but they literally last all day. So this is a deep kind of grungy purple. It's such a nice formula that you don't even have to apply a lip gloss, so I'm gonna skip the lip gloss, but I'll link the satin lips down below from Unearthly Cosmetics. So here is my finished look for today. I love it. It gives me all of the alien space vibes, which is exactly what was intended for the Teresa is Lethal palette. So let's go over my final thoughts and whether or not I think this is worth the purchase. Like I said, I really like the color story. It's very unique to my collection. I also appreciate that there are more mattes than shimmers, which is something I really like in palettes, especially smaller palettes. I want the option to really amp up the mattes and add those colors and depth to the look, and then add that beautiful shimmer to the lid. And the shimmers are just that, absolutely beautiful. Now I didn't use the orangey peachy shade in the middle. It is also stunning, but the two that I used, I love them. She nailed it with the silver in TV dinner. It is truly the prettiest silver I have ever used, and that's exactly what I know that she was going for, knowing her love and on her hunt and the hunt that she's on for the perfect silver shimmer. I think it's a great palette. It's one that I'll be reaching for a lot. I can see a lot of different looks. You could even do a neutral look. You have a brown and a gray toned, and you could add the pretty pop of grungy green to that, maybe on the lower lash line. And then of course you can do really beautiful, colorful looks as well. I'm really happy that I picked up the palette. And again, if you order it off of Camera Ready Cosmetics, you can get 10% off with the code Teresa is dead. So let me know down below, did you pick up the palette? Are you going to pick up the palette? What do you think of my look? And of course, all the other makeup that I'm wearing today will be linked down in the description box if you want to pick up any of the other pieces, my favorite beauty boxes, and my TikTok. Come follow me there for a little bit more beauty on a budget. Teresa is Lethal is a pretty killer palette, and I'm happy to have it in my collection.